All right, let me break down these numbers for you. Right now, Sanders receiving 51% of the vote in Iowa versus Clinton's 43%. Clinton led by 18 points in December. But among Iowans who participated 8 years ago in the 2008 caucuses, the survey found that Clinton leads Sanders 55-38. Well, it's very clear. Bernie has tapped into a younger demographic that is engaged, that is willing to go along with his political revolution of going after Wall Street, making college affordable and free, getting people to pay their fair share. I was at dinner last night, and someone said, "What is fair share? How do you define it?" I said, "It's very simple to define it. It's the common sense of people who see it so imbalanced, they don't really need a definition. They just know what it is. And when you have corporations that are making billions of dollars and they're parking their money offshore, you don't need a definition of fair share. They just simply know that's not right. And this is what Bernie's tapped into and ignited a younger demographic. Question is, John, is that younger demographic going to do the process of a caucus on February 1st in Iowa? That's the big question, isn't it?
It's a huge question, and it's a legitimate question. And in fairness to Hillary Clinton, she has worked very hard. I saw, I went to the Jefferson Jackson Day dinner out there. And when that dinner got done, I was over talking to a bunch of people. About an hour after the dinner was done, a friend of mine said, "Hey, you got to come over and look what's happening on the other side of the hall." So I walked over this huge hall. There was Hillary Clinton, still working that rope line an hour later, taking pictures with everybody. Now, this is a part of Iowa.
Yeah.
Because the people who are the Democratic core activists, the ones who always go to the caucuses, they expect something of a personal relationship with the person they're backing.
Yeah.
Now, what Sanders is trying to do is to literally bring a whole bunch of new people in. Now, I will tell you, those folks that come will be welcomed. Iowans are nice folks. But the bottom line is the ones we know will be there. We know that those people who took those pictures on that rope line with Hillary Clinton, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Will these young people come? And it's not just young. I want to emphasize, too, Ed, one other element is you're really talking about people who maybe aren't that young but have just never really had a lot of faith in this political process.
Sure. Bernie gives them a new level of faith and trust in all of this. Yep.
And so this becomes the great challenge because an Iowa caucus is it's a wild ride. You get there early, probably 6:30. So they have coffee, and they drink coffee at 6:30 because they know they're going to be there for a long time.
What time does this normally end up, John? I mean, is this into the 10, 11 o'clock Central Time at night before they get decisions on this? I can't remember the history of this in the past.
Yeah, you're not going to have results. Here's what happens. The caucuses usually go, they can vary, but they can go for a couple hours, right? So you could go to 9, 10 o'clock. It doesn't always go that way. It just depends. They also, weirdly enough, in addition to doing, the presidential stuff, they're doing county party stuff, who's going to be on this committee and thing.
Yeah.
So when everybody finally gets out and they call these results in, now they're doing it digitally, you're going to start to get stuff pretty quickly. Here's the complexity of it, though, Ed. If it's at all close, you can't make a call too easily because there'll be what are called entry polls. Somebody's going to be out there, I expect, doing the opposite of an exit poll. An exit poll, you ask people when they leave. Now, that's not going to be useful in this context. So the polling firms, they do entry polls. They ask people going in, who are you for? The problem is that an entry poll, which will be released relatively early, won't give you a clear picture because people will shuffle around in the caucus. They can move from one side to another. Mm-hmm. And the O'Malley people might join up with Sanders or with Clinton. And so what I think we're really talking, if it's close, you could easily be, into midnight or 1 a.m. I mean, it takes time to get all these numbers. I'm not saying it will be that way. Could go quick, especially if somebody's a clear winner. But this is a point I always tell people, take a deep breath, step back for a moment, and remember the story of Rick Santorum.
Yeah.
Rick Santorum was rated the loser in Iowa, right? He didn't make it, didn't quite win. And then a few days later, what happened? We got everything together. We finally looked at the numbers. Turns out Santorum won.
Interesting. And, of course, we've seen Huckabee win in Iowa too, and neither of them went further than that. So who knows? It's a temperature taker, is what it is in the early political season. John Nichols, always a pleasure. We'll see you Monday night on the News with Ed Schultz and RT. Looking forward to it.
I look forward to being with you, my friend.